is Angelica Driver, and I work with the City of Asheville's Business Inclusion Office. If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering how to register as a vendor with the City of Asheville. Registering as a vendor is the most important first step to working with the city. If you're planning to apply for certification as a minority-owned, woman-owned, or small business enterprise, you'll need to register as a vendor before you complete that certification application. So if that's your plan, good news, you're on the right track. All right, first we're going to find the vendor registration on the city's website. Go to asheville.nc.gov and click on the Department tab, then click Purchasing on the menu. Then you'll want to click on Vendor Registry on the green bar. So there's a link to the form right here, but I want to point out what you need to have before you start the form. You'll need a digital copy of your business's W-9 form. You can click the link on the page to one of the forms and fill out your company's information in there. And if you have any certifications as a minority or woman-owned business, like from the state's hub office, the NCDOT, or other entities, you can upload copies in the form. Okay, so since if you're watching this video, you haven't registered as a vendor with the city before, you're going to click the circle next to New Vendor. Okay, you can enter your company name here. If you're doing business under a different name than your company name, you can enter that in the DBA or Doing Business As space. Now you'll want to put your address the same as it appears on your W-9 form down through here. The Remit To address is for if you want us to send checks to an address that's different from the one that you put on your W-9. And you can click this box here and it'll bring up a space for you to do that. Next, please enter the email that you use for your business here. That's going to be one of the main ways that we reach you about business matters and to reach out to you after you submit this form, so it's important you enter an email address that you check often. All right, next page. Now you're going to choose which way you want to use to identify yourself. You can choose to use your social security number, your employer identification number, or your individual taxpayer identification number. And your EIN or ITIN both count in this category FID. Whichever one you choose, just make sure it's the same one that you put on your W-9 form. Next is a very important step, choosing your NIGP codes. Basically, the NIGP code shows what you can do for or sell to the city. You'll want to put as many codes as reflect what your business does. For example, if my business does construction, I'm going to put here as many of the codes I can that reflect the construction work I do. You can click this link to go to a page that explains about the codes and even has another video on how to search for your codes, so I recommend you check that out if you're not familiar with NIGP codes. And please reach out to us at abi@asheville.nc.gov if you have any questions about this part of the process. Now we're getting into contacts. You'll want to put general contact information here for when the city needs to contact you. If you have separate contacts for your accounts payable or purchasing staff, please enter them into these sections as well. But if it's just you or you don't have these kinds of contacts, just fill out the general contact and leave the other ones blank. Okay, so after we finish that, we'll go on to the next page. Now, if you have certifications as a minority or woman-owned business from the hub office, NCDOT, or others, you'll want to show that here. So first you'll want to click Yes, and then you're going to choose the type, which you should be able to see on whatever certification documents you have from that entity. Then you have a space here to upload that document. And if you don't have any of these yet, don't worry, they're not required even if you're going to apply with the City of Asheville as a minority-owned or woman-owned business. We can get into all that later when we talk to you. Okay, and last step, you're going to upload that W-9 document we talked about earlier right here. And once you've done that, you're finished, so hit the Submit button. Next, it's going to send a copy of the form to your email. You'll want to be sure to save that vendor number in your records. If you're going on to apply as a minority-owned, woman-owned, or small business enterprise, you don't have to wait to hear back from purchasing. You'll just want to make sure that you submit this form first, and then you can go right ahead and complete the MWSBE certification form. See the other videos on this page for instructions on how to do that. Thanks for watching, and we encourage you to reach out with any questions. You can get in touch with the purchasing department at purchasing@asheville.nc.gov or the Business Inclusion Office at abi@asheville.nc.gov.